golden age of being an author. Right now, more of you have more opportunities to reach more readers, make more money, and sell more books than any other time since ink has been put to paper and sold for coin. So congratulations, you are in the right place at the right time doing the right thing. All right, so give yourselves a hand.
Yeah.
Give yourselves a hand. All right. Now, while we're here, you're going to learn a lot about motivation. You're going to learn about some craft. You're going to learn about where to get information to do all these great things to make you better writers. And I think a lot of you are here because you want to be full-time writers. Is that right? Everyone, yeah? Is anyone here to be mediocre? Raise your hand. None. I didn't think so. Okay. On the weekends, that's okay. All right, so none of you are here to be mediocre. So what I'm here to do is to give you 10 tips on mindset so that you can get out of the cubicle, if you're stuck there now, and into the pants optional workforce that is being an author. All right? Okay, so step number 1 is to dream big dreams. All right? None of you came here, again, I remember the hands, none of you came here to be mediocre. All of you I'm sure you have that vision of where you are awesome author, where you're the one who has 7-figure years, where you're the one with the movie deals, where you're the one who's got your Netflix show, where you have that amazing vision of where you're authoring and where you're writing and where your stories can take you, all right? And you need that, because without that, what are you doing here? You're not here to be mediocre. You're not here to just like, I want to sell $5 worth of books and go to McDonald's. No one's here for that, all right? You're all here because you don't want to be in the cubicle, all right? But if you want to get out of the cubicle, you've got to be thinking about that world, that career, and what you're doing where you want to be, all right? So now what I want all of you to do when it comes to dreaming your big dream is, 1, envision it. And you can only make 2 mistakes. 1, you dream too little, all right? Whatever you're thinking of, go a little higher, all right? Maybe you're like, I would love to write for Star Wars. Take it to the next level where you fix Star Wars, okay? Because these last movies and these last bunch of books have not been good, okay? You've all seen it. You don't have to prove that. All right, well, you're the one that Kathleen Kennedy calls you like, help me, Obi-Wan, you're my only hope. And they bring you in to fix Star Wars. Have that sort of vision, all right? The second mistake you can do is to not write it down, okay? You've all got little swag books, all right? You have the means, okay? Later on, write down what that vision is. Write down whatever it is. Whatever you envision, write it down and keep it. And later on, you can turn it into this awesome little document that you can put up on your mirror. And every morning, you look up and see, I'm the guy that has, that the HBO is making the show of. I'm the one on the New York Times bestseller list. I'm the one with 500 books on my back list and making 7 figures a month. Okay, go crazy. All right, but you're not going to get there unless you vision it first. Like, what was the dream of 20 books to 50K? Here's a hint. It's on the tin, all right? Mike Angelou said, I'm going to write 20 books that make me $50,000 a year, go to Cabo and have tacos, all right? He's blown right past that, okay? Good for him. So that's the kind of dream that people have. That's the kind of dream you need to envision, all right? Now, once you've got that plan, or once you've got that vision, you're going to realize something. You're not there yet, okay? Because you're here to learn, all right, if you're not there yet. So what you need for step 2 is you need to make a plan. Now, I'm going to tell you this little technique that I've been using for years. It's very helpful, and it's free. What you need to do is take out a sheet of paper and write down, make a list 1 through 10. And what you're going to do is you're going to put down 10 things that you want to accomplish in the next year. And you're going to write them down in first person, present tense, and you're going to put a date on it. I'm talking to authors, so I don't have to get into the grammar of this, which is nice, all right? Some examples. My writing will earn $100,000 by December 1st, 2019, okay? You write that down. Other things you can write down. My Facebook page will have 3,000 likes by the middle of June 2019. I will write 5,000 new words every single day, every single writing day in 2019. Write down, go through 10 of those things that are going to help you get to that goal of yours for that first year. Now, they don't all have to be writing, okay? You can be financial, like I have all my credit cards paid off by June 1st. Of the year. You can be, I have this much money in my bank account. You could be, I will lose 15, 20, 25 pounds before Christmas, okay, to make my spouse happy, all right? So you write all these, you have these 10 things down, and and you have to do it every single day. What's going to happen is, you're going to be, like, let's say you have, I will have a book club ad, right? Because getting a book club ad solves almost all indie author problems, right? Okay. So you write down, I will have a book club ad, and you do this And then your subconscious is always thinking, BookBub ad. And you're keeping an eye out for BookBub ads. And you're going to be scrolling through Facebook, and one of your author friends just scored the BookBub ad. And you're like, oh, that lucky guy. And you know what? Ask him how he got it. And like, was there something different that you did? Was your why? Did you have a promo before you asked BookBub? Was there some sort of feedback? And then later on you see, oh, so-and-so had a Facebook ad. And you're going to go ask, hey, how'd that work out for you? And then they may tell you, like, it was great, but I didn't have back matter to capture all those new readers. And you just learned something. Man, I got to have something in the back, a call to action to get people on my mailing list as soon as they get to my new book. So when you have these 10 things written down, your subconscious is going to help work towards those. Now, writing it down is not enough. If you've got that goal of, I will write 5,000 words every single day, writing that is not writing 5,000 words. I wish it was, but it would be so much easier. So, but you got to do something every single day. Now, next step for this is to go a little bit deeper. Look at that 10 list, right? That list of 10 things. Figure out which one's going to make the biggest difference in your writing life. Maybe it's the 5,000 words. Maybe it's making that much money, all right? Circle it. Turn the page over, and then write down 20, a lot of lists, I know, hold on. Write down 20 ideas to help you get there. First 10 going to be easy, right? Like if it's to write 5,000 words, well, I'm going to sit down and write this many words per hour, or I'm going to block off my time so I have enough time to get those words down. First 10, easy. 10 to 15, hard. 15 to 20, oh my gosh, it's going to be a stretch, all right? But those last couple, that's going to be the one where like, oh, I should have been doing that for years, all right? So so write down those 20 ideas, and you will probably find the solution to some problem you've had for quite a while. So give that a shot, and I think it'll work for you because it's been working for me for quite some time. All right, now, and another thing, if you want to go really deep, there is a website called selfauthoring.com. Right, we're authors, talking about ourselves. Selfauthoring.com is set up by a psychologist who took people who did not have any kind of direction or focus in their life, ran them through this program that's all online, very simple, and they got their goals out, they got their future vision out, they understand what happens if they fail, and these people, it was meant for college students to not drop out, and they went from like a 30% graduation rate to a 90% graduation rate for everyone who did this program, okay? Now, if you do this, you're going to learn a lot about yourself. Like, it's kind of scary when you're actually writing essays about yourself in the future. I mean, you all remember the Never-Ending Story movie where Atreyu, he's in the blizzard, and he's walking towards this horrible figure off in the distance, and he finally gets there and he realizes it's a mirror and he's staring at himself. It's kind of like that. A little less intense, but it's kind of like that. Now, it costs less than $30, and if you do it, you get a free code. So if you want to go halvesies with the person sitting next to you, I highly encourage you to do that. So for less the cost of lunch, you could have a nice roadmap to the perfect future self that you're going for. And now let me, quick caveat, I have no financial reason to recommend anything. I'm only doing it because I like it or because I know it. It's not like if I say some author's name, they're going to give me $50 every time. Chris Fox, Chris Fox, Chris Fox, Chris Fox, Chris Fox, Chris Fox. Okay. All right, step number 3. Follow opportunity, but bring your passion. Okay, we all saw Kay Lyddix was up here yesterday, right? And we all went out to that breakout session where he showed, here's all the hot stuff. Here's where books don't have a lot of competition, and they're selling great. And a lot of times there's that urge to, that sort of book is selling money. I'm going to go write that exact same kind of book too. Hold on, okay? Because if you start chasing bubbles, what's going to happen is you're going to get there along with everyone else is chasing the exact same bubble, okay? Now, everyone who's a writer here has been following trends. Do we all remember when everything was shifters? Okay, do we remember when everything was zombies? Okay, do we remember it's still billionaires? Are billionaires still popular for the erotica thing? Yeah, okay, well, maybe that one's going to hang around, so. Now, I write military science fiction. And within the military science fiction realm, for whatever reason, harem books became popular. You had a guy sometimes with a tiger head and like 2 girls scantily clad, and this was this kind of book. And it was all military science fiction, somehow. And I'm looking at this, I'm like, and I see the ranks, the sales ranks. I know how much these books are making, and I'm like, I'm not going to do that. Because one, I write military science fiction, while that is nominally within the same genre, I don't write that kind of a story. I don't read that kind of a story. And while the audience may overlap slightly with my kind of people, it would be a disaster if I tried to write that kind of story. Like, do you all remember that episode of Friends where Ross tries to talk dirty to someone? It would be worse than that, okay? So I know, like, if I tried to go chase that genre, chase that harem pie. Oh God, did I say that? No, okay. Don't stream that part. Cut that out. Have that removed. Okay. If I went for that, it would not work. Now, but all of you here, I guarantee you've been reading since you were little kids. You haven't stopped reading. And if I went to any one of you and said, what's your favorite genre? Start talking. You would not shut up. You could just go forever, right? Like me, when it comes to this giant robots punching aliens, I'm on it, right? For hours on end, we can just talk about giant robots hitting things. So all of you have got that genre. You probably know the best. And if someone takes out that gun and says, write a book, 40,000 words by tomorrow, go. You would just, I know this. I'm going to write that. All right, giant robots punching people. Now so if that's where your passion is, look for where that passion is going to fit in opportunity. Okay? I write military science fiction. If all of a sudden space colonization starts to really explode, okay. Do I have the skills to write a space colonization kind of story? Yeah. I could adjust what I write just well enough to get into that genre. So when you look at K-lytics, or you look at you see what's doing very well and has been hanging around for a while, think about, well, is this the kind of book I'm meant to write? Now, what's probably like the most hardest genre to get into? It's going to be romance, right? Romance, Regency romance, modern romance, urban fantasy romance. Now, if that's where your passion is, good. That means there's a readership there. Now, the bad news is you're going to fight for eyeballs. However, if you make it there, good job. You're coming to this next conference in a Porsche. Okay. So, all right. Now, and when if you're looking around for anything else, okay. And even for me, like I was a military history major in college. I love Napoleon, right? And the deep part of me wants to go write these 800, 900 page, doorstopper books about Napoleon's marshals. But I know if I did that, it would take me 2 years. I'd sell 50 copies, and my children would starve, right? So passion is there, opportunity is not. So, those are going to be on the back burner forever. If you reverse hair Napoleon, who knows? Maybe the time is right, and maybe the time is right. Okay, step number 4: identify the best use of your time. We as authors can do it all. We can write the new words. We can do the editing. We can make our own covers. We can do our own formatting. We can do our own ads. We can do all of it all on our own. But should we? Probably not, because there is only one thing that only you can do. What is it? Right. Very good. Go get a cookie. They're in the back. Free. Have one. All right. That is all on your own. And everything else, the good news is you can hire out for somebody who likes doing that so much they will charge money for it, okay? Especially covers. If people can tell unless you're a graphic artist, people can tell when the author did their own cover, okay? If there's going to be 2 things to spend money on, it's editing and your cover. And right now, John and Mr. Edwards is in the backyard. Yes, he's not, is he? Okay. All right. So, but the good news is, like, we all had Dean Wesley Smith here, right? And he was talking like, when you sit down to write, what happens, you're the god of your own story. So the only thing that only you can do happens to be the most fun, right? Because when we all sit down at the keyboard, who are we? We're Thanos, all right? We've got ourselves the Infinity Gauntlet, and this story is all ours. You are in 100% control, okay? If you sit down and try to and you try to make your own cover, no, it's not this, okay? All right? No, you can't actually snap with this. Half of you appreciate that. So. All right. Now, and also when it comes to so that's the best use of your time, is when you're sitting down and writing. Now, when you're sitting down writing time, you've got to protect it. Okay, because this is the 21st century. There is no end to distractions, okay? Your phone is always yelling at you, click me, play on the game, South Park, phone destroyer, do something. Facebook is always there with something new, okay? YouTube, always there. You ever been like, I'm going to go research this something, and then all of a sudden you're watching Food Wishes with Chef John, thinking of how you're going to make the best Parmesan chicken for dinner, and you don't know how you got there, all right? It hasn't happened to me, but I've heard. So you've got to protect your writing time. You consider it precious. Now, how can you do this? There's apps to turn off everything else on your computer. Freedom. I use Freedom. It costs nothing, and it'll whack everything off your internet except for whatever you want. Okay. There's also Cold Turkey, which works very well. There are Free Write with these little. It's a little typing machine, has no distractions whatsoever. So you get to the point where you train yourself where you don't have any distractions. If you work at home, congratulations. The good thing about working home is you don't have to leave the office and have distractions. The bad news about working at home is you're working at home. And sometimes the missus, the kids, whoever, they're like, well, Daddy's just right there. I need to help. It takes a lot of effort and some discipline to teach your family that writing time can only be interrupted by fire or blood, okay? So if you can get there, you're going to actually have more writing time. And science has said that every time you're sitting there, you're writing, and there's a distraction. It can take up to 17 minutes before you back into that flow. So every time someone comes over and it's like, did you do the laundry? No, you've just lost 17 minutes before your mind gets back in that story, all right? So learn to protect your time. And one way to teach yourself to use the best use of your time is, Chris Fox, it's another $50, has 5,000 words per hour. If you read that, he talks about training, you have a timer, and you train how many minutes. Let's say you have 55 minutes, and you write. You just stay focused on writing, and you record that. And then next time you do another session, you record that, and you can see, okay, my writing time is getting more words or less words. So train yourself to make the best use of your writing time. Why? Because no one is going to write your words for you. You can hire someone else to do everything while you're writing, okay? All right. Now, number 6, let me ask, who here is self-employed? Every hand. You're all self-employed. Why? Because you all have to write your own words. And earlier when I said here are those 10 things, you're all writing them I and me. I will earn this amount of money by then. I'm me. So we are all self-employed as writers, okay? Now, and when you realize this, something very important happens. You realize that when you're self-employed, you are responsible for everything. And now when you become responsible, you accept responsibility for that, that accountability really helps your career because all of a sudden you can't blame anyone. All right, if you say, I am responsible, repeat after me, I am responsible.
I am responsible.
Very good. And you get to the point where it's like, you just have a new book out and it doesn't do well, and you could be like, oh, that one guy, he's got that other book and it came out at the same time. The algorithms hate me. My cover's garbage. Excuses, they all go away. They all go away when I am responsible, okay? Because when you're responsible and anything comes up that's not delivering, you're going to be the one to figure it out because no one is coming to save your career, all right? It's all on you. And it's harsh. It's a little rough, but once you internalize that, it gets easier because now like, oh, my mailing list isn't delivering. I better figure out why. Let me go find a course. Let me go ask somebody who's got a better mailing list than I. And then all of a sudden, you can start solving your own problems. You get through this. Because otherwise, if you're not responsible, it's just self-pity and excuses. And then you're just sitting there in the corner blaming everyone in the world, and nothing gets done. All right, but when you are the one who's responsible, all of a sudden things will start to happen. Why? Because you will make them happen. Don't ever plan on like I'm just gonna get the book club and then I'll be good. No, it doesn't work that way. All right, it's hard to get a book club. I've had like 2, and I'm still working. So one book club doesn't do it. Now, it takes a while to get that humility to realize I might be doing something wrong. I might have to change how I write. I might have to change how I market. I might have to not use this cover artist who I really like and is like my friend anymore. Okay? It takes some humility to realize that. But then also, it takes a good deal of self-worth to realize that, I'm creating art that I want people to pay for. So there's this real kind of dichotomy of I have to know where I'm making mistakes and fix myself, and also I'm going to go out there and make people want to buy my art. Okay? Now, do we all remember that show, The Critic? There was what was that guy's name? It was John Lovitz. And at one point, he's a critic and he has a book. And he had like this cardboard cutout, and the cardboard cutout would go, buy my book, buy my book. And it was super annoying. And that's how I feel when it's time to sell. And the older and fatter I get, the more I look like John Lovitz. It's terrifying. But you know what? You got to get through that, all right? Welcome to art, okay? That crushing self-doubt, also being a narcissist at the same time. It's fun, isn't it? Okay. Number 7, there is only one person you have to please. Who is that one person that we have to please? Dean Witherspoon told us. What? Reader? Who says reader? Get a cookie. Good job. Yes, the only person you have to please as a writer is the reader. Okay? Now, the readers are the reason we are even going to have a career. Why? Because they're the ones who are going to shell out between 99 cents to $19.95 for everything we've got. So the readers are everything, and we have to love them. Can we get a hand for our readers, please? Thank you. Readers are the best. Now, and most of you here are writing fiction. And why do people read fiction? From what is to get an escape, okay? What just happened last night? We had an election here in America. Was that any fun at all? No. And I thought this morning we'd have some answers. No, the no fun's going to continue for like 2 more years, and then it's probably going to get worse, all right? So when it comes to being a writer, you are providing that escape for everyone, okay? People pick up your book, and you're the giant robot punching an alien in the face. You're that countess who meets the Duke, who's also a billionaire alien, okay? You are people's escape. I've gotten emails from people, and I'm sure everyone who's been writing for a while, you get those emails from someone who says, thank you. I listen to your audiobooks on my way to work, and my job sucks. And then I leave, and I put my earphones back in, and it's like, oh, thank God, I don't think about my sucky job, all right? So we are all, we're all that escape from the Facebook feed, from the news, from the busted out water heater, from the car that just broke down. We are that escape. Keep providing that escape. I mean, if we're writing fiction, that's kind of what we like to do, and the readers will appreciate that. Now, there's always that temptation to be too topical, okay? And if you get too specific on the nose with what's going on in the world in your writing, and all of a sudden you associate yourself with all the horrible things in people's Facebook feed, now what have you just done to that reader? You are now all the horrible things in their Facebook feed. So try to stay away from it. Now, that doesn't mean you can't write about an issue, like let's say immigration. You write science fiction. You can put enough of a mask on any issue in your story that your reader won't even tell that's what you're talking about. Okay? If you straight up have a book called Orange Man Bad, or you've just labeled yourself on one half of the fight, and all of a sudden now it's like that one half of the readers who are like Orange Man Good, no, now they don't like you, and everyone's like Orange Man Bad, yeah, now I like you. It's a little. So if you put those labels on yourself, if you put yourself into the problems that people are trying to get away from, people are going to pull back. The readers are going to pull back from it. So just stay away from it. Don't. I mean, we all could have voted yesterday. We're not here unless you live in Nevada like me. But we all had that opportunity to still participate. But when you, as the writer and your writer persona, try to protect that the readers are coming to you for an escape. They're coming to you for a reason not to have problems. Okay? So don't be a problem. There. So now, also when it comes to readers, you need to know who they are. And the good news is the readers kind of want to tell you because they like interacting with you. If you got your Facebook page, you'll see who comes and likes you. And like I run a survey for my mailing list once a year, and I say, hey everyone on my mailing list, fill out these forms. Tell me a little demographic information. How much you think my books should cost? Where you found my books? How old you are? Real innocuous kind of stuff, but it really, really helps with my ad targeting and understanding who I'm writing for. And then I do that, and then what do I give? I give out Kindles as a raffle. So that I'm respecting their time. Thank you for coming and giving me this information. Here's something for you, also. So readers also appreciate that. So and then when you get to understand your readers, you kind of know what they want. All right. Now I write military science fiction. I see who comes to my Facebook page, and it's mostly men, aged about 30 to 50. A lot of them have families, and a lot of them kind of all. And so I'm like, okay, that's kind of me because I'm 40. I have a family, and I kind of know with some of these people that this is what they're going to like. Here, when you realize this, tell me what it is. You hear that? Does anyone know what that is? Robotech. Get a cookie. Get a cookie, all right? It's not just Robotech, which was a cartoon series in the 80s. For men my age, from my range readers, it wasn't just Robotech. That sound is after-school cartoons. When the school's over, oh, thank God school's over. I get to run home, get my big giant bowl of sugary cereal, and just sit down and I don't have my teacher. I don't have the kids who are bothering me at school. So, I realized that sound is, that relief from what people are from problems people had. So I know when I'm writing for these people who read for me, I kind of know what they're going to like. It's like, if you watch the Transformers movie, there's that part where Optimus Prime shows up, blasts down all the Decepticons, has this huge drag-out fight with Megatron, and then dies. But for all the people my age, we're like, that was a pivotal moment of childhood. So I kind of understand that's the kind of feelings they want from my books, is to feel that kind of that childhood goodness of where you have heroes, and you have right and wrong, and you have battles, and people feel good in the reading. And like if I was writing for 50-year-old women who are really into a Regency romance, I would not put Optimus Prime in those books. Okay, and if I'm writing books for guys my age, I'm not going to have the long, drawn-out event of what was it? An entailed farm where the guy has to get married and have a child to keep the farm. Okay, my readers will be like, what? Right? So know your readers, know your audience, know what they like, and give it to them. They like it; they'll give you money back. It's great, amazing how that works. Okay, all right, number 8. I'll tell you a little story here. Up in the wilds of Alberta, Canada, there's a logging operation. Foreman's there one day, and this young man shows up with a big old axe. The young man says, "I'm here to cut down trees." And the guy says, "All right, you got to cut down 3 trees a day to work here." And the kid's like, "I'm gonna cut down 7." "All right, go for it." First day that kid's out there working like crazy, cuts down 7 trees. Foreman's like, "This is amazing. This guy, I'm gonna pay him extra. He's doing great. All right, awesome." Second day, kid's out there, cuts down 5 trees. Foreman's going like, "It's still more than 3. He's doing great. Fine, I can handle 5. Okay, good job. Third day, Foreman goes out there, sun's setting. Kid's not back yet with his trees. Walks out in the forest, he sees 2 trees down, third tree still up, barely a dent in it. And the kid is sitting on one of the trunks. He's looking down at his bloody, blistered hands. The axe is in the dirt. And like, this kid's not going to get his 3rd tree for that day. And Foreman goes over and he picks up the axe and says, "Hey, this axe is dull. That's why you're having so much trouble. Why didn't you, what's going on here?" The kid looks up at him and says, "I was so busy cutting down trees, I forgot to sharpen my axe." All right? You've got to sharpen your axe. You've got to keep increasing your own skill set. Now, where are we? We're at 20 books to 50K. We're learning about all this stuff. And it's like, thanks, Richard. You just told me to come here and do the thing I'm doing. Well, all right, we're not done. Okay? Now, we're going to learn an amazing thing. We've already learned a lot of amazing things. Dean Wizard-Smith, Kay Liddix, all these other great speakers are here teaching us techniques. Now, there's a lot more to be learned. Now, if you could just spend 1 hour a day increasing, working on your craft, either podcasts, reading books, taking a course, it's almost the equivalent of being a full-time PhD student and being a selling author. All right? So let's do a quick survey. Who here writes fantasy? Hands. Keep your hand up. I'll go fast because you're going to get tired. Who here knows who Brandon Sanderson is? Lower your hand if you don't. Okay. If you know who Brandon Sanderson is, you know who writes fantasy. Who here knows he teaches college classes? Put your hand down if you don't know that. Okay, hands going down. Who here, for those college classes, how many of you know you can watch every last one of them for free on YouTube? Yeah. Yeah, Brandon Sanderson, you can't go to YouTube, Camera Panda, Brandon Sanderson. He has dozens of hours of lectures where he's teaching a college course on writing fantasy. And it's free, right? You don't have to go to the University of Utah to learn it. It's amazing. So that's all out there. Now, I want all of you to think about who is that top guy or gal in your genre. Have they ever given an interview about the craft? Do they have books about the craft? Where could you learn from these people? Like for military science fiction, the name, if you say that, one of the first names pop into people's mind, David Weber. David Weber, next week, is going to be on the Keystroke Medium podcast talking about military science fiction stuff. I'm going to be there. I'm going to have my face pressed against the screen. I'm not going to get much out of that. I'll probably back up at some point. But yeah, like David Weber, yes, please. And I'm going to be there soaking up everything David Weber has to say. And you know what? It costs me nothing. All right, thriller writers. Keep your hands down. I'll keep you. Dan Brown, who writes the Da Vinci Code. He just had a course go up on, I got to get the name right. Masterclass, thank you. He just had a brand new class get hung on Masterclass. Dan Brown, who sells more books in his before lunch than I've sold my entire life. Okay, and he's teaching how to write thrillers. By the way, he does not have a section on prose in that course. Take from that from what you will. All right. Also, James Patterson is on this same website. Judy Blume is on that same thing. And I guarantee you, the people who run Masterclass are in Stephen King's bushes throwing bricks of $100 bills at his windows to get him to do a horror class. So it's it's out there. The information about from the top people in your genre is already out there. You just got to go find it. Now, quick caveat: you're going to go out there and you can see some places like, we want your money to do all this stuff. Do yourself a favor. You go to davidgoffrin.com. David Goffrin, he's an Irishman. He's so Irish, he lives in a distillery. And he is the closest thing we have to a white knight. If there is somebody out there scamming authors, he knows about it. If you're thinking about buying a product or service, and some of these things can get real expensive, go to his blog first, type it in, and if he doesn't have any bad information on it, you can probably assume that it's okay. I don't want you all to, bombard him like, should I buy this, should I buy this? But rather, do some due diligence, and David Goffrin has already done most of the legwork for us. Okay, so just that is a quick, a quick public service announcement for everybody. Okay, number 9, gain and maintain momentum. All right, once you've found some readers, great. The hard part is then to keep them with you, because there are a number of things taking those readers away from you. Other books, TV shows, their Facebook feed, everything else is competing for their attention. Once you've got someone's attention, you got to fight to maintain it, okay? And if it's just regular emails, something, all right? There's only one person out there who can really write one book every 5 years and be okay. And he's got HBO making movies of his stuff, all right? That's no one in here yet, all right? So you've got to keep in the kind of, you don't have to be like every day with your readers, but rather your readers know they're going to hear from you, they're going to get something from you every couple of months. All right? Now it's now here for those of you who aren't quite out of the cubicle yet, who you're not writing full time yet, this is a method I'm going to talk about that has worked wonders for some people. All right, or for some people, one of whom is in this room. All right, what you do, you write 3 books in a series, okay, and they're done, edited. Blurb is professional. Covers, done. Okay, and what you do is you hang that first book up on Amazon or everywhere else, and then you start driving eyeballs to it. Either you've got a relationship with other authors who will recommend it, you start doing the AMS ads, you start doing Facebook ads, you get people going to that first book. And then that first day that you've got that book up there, you need to have the second book on pre-order 30 days out. And then when at the end of that first book, people, go buy the second book. Okay, if they get to the end of that first book, you've already sold them the second book, all right? So then they buy the second book, and then they're waiting for it. You build that anticipation. And then when you get to the point where 30 days after the first book comes out, second book is live, guess what? Third book is on for pre-order, all right? This way people are going, yay, I'm happy with you at 30 days. 30 days later, more stuff, thank you, I'm happy again. 30 days later, you're incredible. 30 days later, 3 books, 90 days for 3 books. You get that momentum going, okay? You keep those readers with you. Now, and what you got to be doing when those 3 books are coming out over the space of 90 days, you better be getting book 4 and 5 done, all right? Now, you do this, and in one, it makes Amazon's algorithms happy, okay? Now, there's a lot of things to be said, but one thing I think we can all agree on is that Amazon wants you to spend money on their website, right? And every time you put out a new book, you're giving Amazon a reason people to come back to the website. Oh, look, Brandon Meeks has a brand new, comedy featuring professors. And people come there, they buy that, and they go, oh, I need bike parts. Oh, I need cat toys. Oh, I need this clothing. All right, so Amazon is going to use you to sell more stuff, and that's great because Amazon likes things that people like to buy, right? So people are coming to buy your book and other things. Amazon will give your book more love. All right. So if you have a book coming out every 30, 60, 90 days at first, that builds up momentum, it gets you a readership, and what you're telling your readers is that, hey, you can trust me with your time, because I will deliver, all right? People know, hey, this guy, he has books coming out very regularly, I'm not going to get emotionally invested and then have to wait for HBO to make every single episode of every single book he's already done while he hasn't even finished the next book, not that I'm bitter about George R. R. Martin, okay? So you build up that trust with the reader, okay? And then the algorithms get to working for you, and you start selling lots and lots of books. Someone who does this is Isaac Hook with an E. What he'll do is he'll kind of vanish for a little bit, then he'll burst back into the science fiction scene with a brand new series, 3 to 5 books, does the exact same thing. Book 1 out, book 2, 30 days later, book 3, 30 days later. And he'll be at the top of the charts, making all the money, doing great, then he'll kind of vanish again, and he'll come back again later in the year with the exact same thing. It's incredible. That is really working very well for him, because I'm sure he drives a Porsche. Now, there's another person in this room, Nathan Heisted. Nathan, where are you? Stand up, sir. Nathan Heisted did this similar method, and he got out of his day job. Let's give him a hand. He escaped the cubicle, and here he is wearing pants, just for all of us. All right. So that kind of method can work. So that's you build and maintain momentum. And once you got your readership, you stay connected and keep giving them. Now, once you got a readership, all of a sudden you have to start delivering every 60 to 90 days, which can be hard, which is, believe me, it's a struggle at times. And I've been on that treadmill for many years now, but I've almost made, almost $925,000 off of ebooks just by staying on that treadmill and giving Jeff Bezos what he wants. It's a new title every 60 to 90 days. He rewards me with dollars. And I'm like, fine, because I can't, I can't just go to Costco and say, I have great intentions, hot dog. And they're like, no, it's $1.50, sir. You have $1.50 for your hot dog. I'm like, no, I want to write books. That doesn't work that way. All right. So if you get on that treadmill of producing regular content, it works. All right. Unless you have HBO working for you. So, okay, number 10, you must persist. Okay. We're all alive, and life is tough. And being a writer, things are going to go horribly wrong from time to time. And there's not a lot of things you can do about it. You're going to have this great ad campaign ready, and you're just going to go, and you're going to spend a lot of money and get no clicks. That happens. Your computer is going to eat a draft just because it hates you and their computers. That's going to happen. You're going to have an editor who's supposed to deliver a manuscript back to you in 2 weeks, and that editor is going to get arrested, and you're not going to find out until that book is like 9 hours away from having to get uploaded, polished, and ready to Amazon, so you don't lose your preloading privileges. Not that happened to me. And then also, and then sometimes you're going to go and you're going to have that great book, and you're going to upload the wrong file and hit publish. But that never happened to anyone here, so I've heard. So, but screw-ups are going to happen. But you know what? The good thing about screw-ups is that what happens when we realize there's a screw-up? I am responsible. Okay, you got to fix it. Because if you just go like, someone uploaded the wrong manuscript for me by accident, that wasn't me, and you just give up and go back to the cubicle, let your soul die, or you're sitting there doing your TPS reports for 3 bosses and having to come in on Saturday. I mean, you could just give up, but that's the only way to fail is to quit. All right, so you whatever you got going on in your author world, success today is not success in the future. Failure today is not failure in the future. All right, every day you got to fight to get these books out, to fight to make your readers happy, fight to get to that big dream that you've all written down, that big dream that you all have your list of 10 things that can get you there. All right, you have to keep fighting for all of that. Now, I'll tell you, when I first started, I wrote military thrillers, and no one bought them, not even my mother, okay? Because they were not ready. I had a military background. I'm just going to write as close to reality as I can without having to move to Russia. And you know what? No one liked that, because that's not what readers go for, all right? And I sucked. I thought about quitting. I wasn't going to do anymore. And then I went to another author who wrote in that genre. I said, why do I suck so much? And he looked at me and he said, well, have you thought of writing in a different genre? I'm like, well, let's see. I've loved Star Wars since before I could walk. I've watched every episode of Star Trek and Deep Space Nine and Babylon 5 I've ever been to get my hands on. My allowance has always gone towards buying paperbacks written by Dean Wilson Smith and other great science fiction authors. Maybe I should try writing some military science fiction. And that became the Ember War. And I just said to myself, you know what? I'm going to sit down and write a Michael Bay movie with marginally better dialogue. And it worked, okay? I have a career now. So, I was failing for a while, and then I realized, okay, I'm responsible for making this work, and I found a way to make it work, and now, I have a career writing, and it's wonderful. So everyone, all right, I hope I've given you some tools that you can use on your own for free to figure out where you're going and figure out how to get there. All right? That's all I got, Craig. Woo!